Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Well, Prime 4 has finally been released. On one hand, it's great. On the other hand, it's not what people expected. So, when? Greetings, my hatchlings. I've returned to you with the long-awaited Metroid Prime 4 Beyond review. So yeah, today I'm really excited to make this video because it's finally here. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really excited to make this video today. I've already had people ask me like what I thought about the game, what I think about certain like characters in the game, and just like, yeah, everything about it. I'm super excited to make this. It's gonna be really epic to talk about. So yeah, once again, in this video, I'm gonna be reviewing the game, kind of in my own way. I'm not the best at reviewing games. I don't do this, I don't review games professionally. This is my own opinion as a huge Metroid fan of long years, as you may know. And, so there's gonna be spoilers in this video. Just a warning ahead. Spoilers. There's going to be spoilers, okay? So if you're gonna be, you know, bothered by that, I recommend don't watch this because if you haven't played the game, you're gonna be like, crap, I should have played the game first. I didn't know that. So yeah, let's get into it. Oh yeah, so I guess part 1 of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond review, of Samus reviews in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Okay, so I have a little notebook here. That's my Christmas Pet Pals notebook that I took notes in about the game. Don't be jealous. Yeah, so pros about the game. Let me go over the pros. Now the pros in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. There's lots of them, I have to admit. So number 1. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for the Switch 2, that's the system I played it on, looked amazing. The graphics are stellar. They're amazing. Switch 2 really, really prevailed with their graphics, and the game just looks amazing. I really recommend playing it on the Switch 2. If you already have a Switch 1 and you don't care and you just want to play the game, that's fine. I was going to do that originally first, but I ended up downloading the game on Switch 2, so I couldn't wait the next day to go out and get it. I want a physical copy, but I just didn't want to wait. So I was like, no, I want to play it now. So I was up like hours playing it on release day. But yeah, I was honestly, my first impressions, I was just like amazed. The quality is super clear. It's super polished. It's super, I could just tell that they really took a long time like making it. It was super high quality. My personal opinion, I think it looks great. I'll get into more details like in a little bit. Music was also really good too. I was actually surprised. I was a little bit worried they wouldn't have a lot of music because I know Dread, the last game we had, was I'll admit my personal opinion, I never reviewed Dread, but I'll do that later probably. I was not impressed with the music in Dread, so Prime 4, I feel like the Primes have the best music out of all Metroid games. I'm sorry, I had to say it. They do. They really prevailed. Probably my favorite track is probably Ice Belt. Power Generator, that's my favorite track. I could listen to that jam all day. It's superb. And Green Fury. I love that level. Love that music. Let me just make sure. So yeah, quality is great. Music, you guys know, it's excellent. Play in Switch 2. Super impressed. Now, next, character design. I'd like to go over that. Overall, everybody looks amazing. Like, stellar. Everybody looks great. And I'm not just saying that, like, I'm not just like, because, you know, I'm a huge fan of Metroid Prime. Like, I love the Primes. They're my favorite in the series. I worship the first Prime. That's, like, my favorite game of all time. First, I think it's the best game ever made. In every game, you know, out in the world, Prime is the best. Fight me on that, because I'll win. I thought that the characters look really cool. Samus's design in her very suit, I will admit it's not my favorite design. Personally, and I'm not knocking it, the very suit's my favorite suit that Samus wears. However, I do have to admit that the very suit in this game is not my favorite design. I like the purple little symbol thing, that's cool, and she's just like, Beyond, you know, that's really cool. I'll get into that too in a minute, the abilities. Her very suit looks a little bit too, I don't know, I don't want to be rude and say this, but it looks a little too curvy, and I'm used to her, like, Prime style very suit where it looks very, like it looks like a super powered, like, war machine, you know, like, especially in the first Prime, she's like, she's got huge shoulders, and they're, like, gigantic basketballs up here. That's my favorite look. I mean, I'm sorry, the Prime 1 very suit is the best design very suit. But I do like in Echoes and Corruption, the little green parts on the side, but I just am a huge fan of, like, the huge shoulders, you know, where they're, like, up to here. Love that look. So, yeah. Fairy Suit's not my favorite one in this game, but it's still badass, still awesome. I think, honestly, the Viola suit in the game is probably my favorite. You know, the red and black, like, motorcycle one looks awesome. I love that. As a matter of fact, I'm actually working, I want to make that one for a video. I'm working on that cosplay. Because that is one of my favorite suits now. Fairy Suit, Dread Power Suit, and Viola Suit are probably my top favorite suits now. Dark Suit's up there, too. I do really like the Legacy suit. If you guys have beaten the game, that's like the white one at the end with like the shininess all over it, the lights. It did kind of remind me a lot of the light suit. It's really awesome. It's super powerful, but it's not my favorite design in the game. I know it's supposed to be the best one, but I'm sorry. I love colors. Viola suit is my favorite. I'm sorry. If you guys love the Legacy suit, that's cool, but the Viola is my favorite. I love red and black together. The purple, it's like her signature look in the game. I just think it's the best one. It's like the dark suit in Echoes, and versus the getting the light suit. It's like, yeah, I like light suit, but dark suit was just cool. I don't know. I know a lot of people think Echoes is like supreme, but Prime 1 to me is the best. Prime 1 is like, you know. But yeah. So yeah, character design. I love all the suits. Viola's my favorite. Let me see what else I got. Oh yeah, the characters in the game. Pretty touchy topic. Shall we get into it? Miles McKenzie. Okay, so I understand from the trailers, Miles McKenzie was the first one they really showed in detail, and people were like freaking out when his character first got revealed. And I know a lot of you guys have mixed opinions about him, and that's fine. I don't mind. I'm open to all opinions in this video. Just be respectful, you know. Miles McKenzie. I liked him. You want my answer to how I feel about him? I liked Miles. I think he's a good character. I know I'm gonna be, like, probably shot for that comment, but, like, I personally found his design to be really cool. He had a really nice design. He was really unique looking, obviously nerdy, but, I liked his voice. His voice actor is pretty good. That's one thing I'll say about this game. The voice acting is really good. Really superb. I liked his armor design. I liked the yellow. He was, like, a level 4 engineer, repairs, like, the machines, does the computer work. I like that for him. He's a really unique, I think, cool sidekick for Samus. That's how I view him, as just a sidekick like, character. Like I said, his design was awesome. I loved it. Kind of gave me, like, Bumblebee Transformers vibes a little bit. I like the goggles to help him see what he's working on. I did like that idea. Yeah, he was pretty cool. I like that he was smart, and he kind of stayed back at base and helped you upgrade your items and everything. Out of all the people that I will talk about, he's probably my favorite in the character group. I think he's really nice. He's pretty funny, too. He makes, like, really funny dialogue about, like, is that a new suit? Or did you just scan me? That was, like, my favorite when he said that. He's pretty funny. I think he's, like, he kind of, like, is personification of everybody that plays Metroid, I feel like. Not everyone. I know a lot of you guys are too cool to be Miles, but wouldn't we all have that reaction if we met Samus in real life? Like, nice suit? Like, I mean, we would probably freak out. She's awesome. She's famous. I mean, I would, you know. We all love her. So, I'm a fan of Miles. I wouldn't care if he ever returned to another game. I mean, I liked him, but if he doesn't return, that's fine. I know a lot of you guys were like, yes, when he died. I think he died anyway. I'll get into that and get into the ending later. But yeah, I like Miles. He's my favorite. I know, like I said, a lot of you guys did not like him because of thought he was kind of like, obviously, the tutorial character, kind of like hand-holding, linear. He kind of told you what to do. And as Metroid fans, we don't really like that. We like to be on our own, isolated, and, you know, have, like, in command of ourselves. I totally understand where you guys are coming from. I understand, me too. But I did like how he did things. He was funny, he was likable, charming, unique, nice design. Yeah, he's a meme of itself, so. I remember seeing, like, YouTube, like, thumbnails for how much people, like, this game is ruined, Metroid Prime is over, Metroid series is dead, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, people, relax, it's not over, it's not dead, we are the fans, we're the power, we gotta keep it going. So, I kind of thought, personally, people overreacted to Miles. I thought it was a little bit taken too far. Is he something new for Metroid? I mean, yeah, he was different, but not different doesn't always mean bad. I didn't think he was that bad, to be honest with you. It could be worse, it could be Other M. He could be Adam, he could be just, yeah, I won't get into that. Maybe another video. But yeah, I thought Miles was cool. I think the hate was overrated. One thing I will say about him that I did not like, that I can agree with you guys, is that he seemed to know everywhere to go, and we don't. It's kind of like, you've never been here either, Miles. How do you know where everything is? Like, I get he's like the comms guy. He can Like, maybe he has a GPS or something, and he kind of tells you where to go. He's like your hint system. That I was not a fan of, because to me, personally, I didn't think Metroid Prime 4 was that hard of a game. Because of Miles, he kind of made everything... He was very hand-holdy and linear. I will admit to that, he was very linear. He basically told you wherever to go, and I was like, wow, I don't even have to, like, wait. And honestly, Prime 4 in and of itself wasn't even that hard to navigate. I mean, when you go out to the desert, there's, like, 4 spots all in the corners. Like, here's where you go. It's pretty obvious. You could have figured it out by yourself. You didn't need Miles to tell you. So I do agree he did make the game sort of easier, and us Metroid fans waiting for Prime 4 for, like, practically, like, 17 years, like, probably aren't the biggest fan of being told what to do in Primes. They already know. We want to be isolated and figure it out for ourselves. I get it. Trust me. I'm a Metroid fan of many years. I understand. However, I went into this game with an open mind, because the minute you knock a game before it's released, it immediately makes writers feel like, oh, people don't like our game. Maybe we shouldn't make anymore. I mean, that's why I thought, give it a chance. If you don't like that kind of style, I understand. Go play Prime 1. Go play Prime 2. Go play Corruption. Okay? Those are your games that are not as linear. If you don't want linearness or being told what to do. I understand. Go play the first Prime. The first Prime is the best. So, I know a lot of you guys love Echoes. I understand. Echoes is great too. But Prime is the best. Okay? Prime. I am a Prime worshiper. So yeah, I can understand what the Miles hate. I can understand a little bit. A lot of people are like, yeah, I didn't really like him. I didn't like how he told you what to do. And I'm sure a lot of people are just shooting him up at base. I understand. But my opinion, I didn't mind him. I know people asked me what I thought, and honestly, he's not that bad. Sorry, my hair keeps falling. It's so annoying. Samus hair. The next character I'll get into will be Takabi. So I know a lot of people probably like Takabi. He's kind of like the cool, like Lone Ranger, like styled, plays harmonica, super cool guy. I thought he's pretty cool. He was at the Ice Belt area, I believe, and he was pretty chill. I liked his character. I feel like I recognize his voice somewhere. I don't know where it's from, but I liked his character design too. The armor, his face was cool. I'm guessing he's like Japanese because of his name. That's pretty cool. I like the races being involved. Give it some, you know, individuality. I did like his character. I couldn't tell though if his voice was like, acting was good or not. I know some people were like, oh yeah, he was the best, but he kind of sounded weird in some parts of the game. I don't know why, but to me he sounded a little awkward. Maybe it's just like me, I don't know. I'm not used to voices being in Metroid. He was pretty cool. I liked he played the harmonica. His design was good. I like that. He said the, like, alien reference. Oh my god, they're in the walls. I love that, because that was my favorite part of the game, actually. He's kind of like a cool one with nature sniper badass. I thought that was cool. We need a character like that. One thing I did not like about his character, and this probably isn't his fault, but I did not like how Takabi, and you guys may feel like mixed opinions on this, was I was trying to, like, get 100% in the game, right? And I'm riding through Soul Valley, and I'm trying to, like, find these pickups, these missiles, and I'm just like, where are they? There's nothing here. Turns out you can't get them until you talk to Takabi when he's, out playing his harmonica, and I thought that part was really lame. I'm like, really? I have to talk to this guy to get my missiles? Like, didn't like that. It felt like I had no choice but to, I don't know, to me I felt a little held back, and you have to go out in Soul Valley certain times or he won't appear, and I thought that was kind of like, not my favorite thing, not terrible, but not my favorite idea. It's like, dude, give me back my missile. What are you doing with it? You don't need it. I could have found that myself, you know what I mean? I'm the hunter. So, that's what I do. Hunt. And, yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. But he was a cool character overall. I like that he saved me from the Snow Wolf part. I was like, if you guys remember that part, you first enter the Ice Belt, you have to fight all those Snow Wolves, and honestly, I like the Snow Wolves. They were pretty badass looking. Honestly, I was kind of scared of them. They're really cool design. I liked how they circled you, and just, I thought about that, like, if you were in real life and this happened, you'd be so screwed. So, I'll admit that part was pretty difficult. I died, I think, the first time doing that part, and I did it again, and I was just, like, using non-stop fire shots in each wolf, and, I'm about to try hard mode and hope that part's not going to be too rough, but Takabi jumps in and saves you, so appreciate that. That was a pretty cool part, because I thought for a minute there, I'm dead, like, I can't do this. And he just saves you last minute, so I thought that was kind of unique. Made his character pretty important. I appreciated that. So yeah, there's Takabi. He's cool. I know a lot of you guys probably are a fan of him, most of all. Yeah. I like that he had, like, an injured leg. It was pretty cool. Yeah. So who else? I really liked, so there's Duke. Duke is pretty awesome. He's the black guy in the game. I really liked him. He was comical. He was very, like, wholesome, likable character. He said some pretty funny dialogue. I know he said something about casserole or something. I thought that was funny. Pretty cool. I liked him. I know people were really against the characters because they thought, oh no, we have to save these people, and I'll admit to you, I was a little bit skeptical about that too. I thought, oh no, it's gonna be like Escort mission hell. No way am I gonna enjoy this, but actually, like, it wasn't that bad playing it my first run. And I know a little bit later after meeting Duke, you meet Nora. Nora was really cool. I loved her last name, Armstrong. I feel like she's a personification of all of us as fans, because she was pure fangirl of Samus, which is me in the way, like, I'm like the hugest fangirl of Samus, so how can I hate her? Like, that's like me. So if you hate her, it's like you're hating a fellow fan. I mean, she's like freaking out over meeting Samus, who wouldn't? Like, we all would freak out. And, we're all huge fans. So, yeah, I think that she's very relatable, and I think she was, you know, cute, wholesome, obviously the youngest one, I think, out of all them. And her comments about her doing the Morph were funny, and just like, oh, let me help her. It's like, wouldn't we all feel the same? I don't know. I know Metroid's supposed to be, like, no nonsense, more serious, but I think she was a cool addition to the game. She was something that we weren't expecting, I feel like. I liked her. I liked her sacrifice, how, like, she was gonna lose it, but then she got over it, and remained strong. I thought that was cool, because, you know, a lot of us probably feel the same. A lot of us would probably not be able to handle the job. So let's be real. Could you handle that job? I doubt it. They can. They were trained. So, let's be real. She held it together pretty well, considering she's human. And I like that they added more humans, because we're humans, and it made just Samus seem more amazing, how, like, cool she is. And why not have human characteristics? I mean, they're humans, so not everybody has to be a fearless war machine like Samus, you know? I thought it made them more relatable, because, yeah, that would be a very scary job. I mean, when you went down the mines with the Grievers, and she was, like, I mean, I would be terrified, let's all be real. We'd all be scared. I'm sure Samus is scared, but holds it together. You know, she does feel fear, I'm sure. That part with the Grievers was pretty cool. So yeah, I liked Nora. I thought she's very wholesome. Very funny. She has really cute dialogue. Who else is next? Oh yeah, the VUE guy, the robot guy. I think he was really cool. His design was awesome. His dialogue was also really, comical in ways, and I know some people mentioned that the humor between the Galactic Federation troopers, the soldiers, were, like, very millennial. But I'm like, guys, we're millennials. I mean, I'm a millennial. I'm 32. Like, I get it. You know, I'm a millennial. I understand. A lot of us are millennials that played the games. I feel like people younger than us probably have not played most of the Metroid, so they're gonna try to appeal to their fan base. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like that guy. The robot guy was pretty cool. He was funny. He had unique abilities. I think all of them, like, when they went back to base, all of them met up. They had very interesting dialogue between each other, and I really liked it. It just made them feel more human, you know? Not all Metroid games have to be so serious, so anti-people, anti-talking, you know? So I really like that. Samus's voice was also cool in the game when she, like, grunts. I thought, yeah, this is a pretty good voice actress for this. I'm glad they didn't make Samus talk, because every time that happens, people freak out. Dread handled it pretty cool, though, when she spoke in Chozo. That was pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I'll get into the Lor race, the aliens that you encounter. They're pretty cool. I like them. I thought their architecture was cool. The music that plays around them, it's almost like they're almost like gods, you know, like they're just higher races or something. They're just of aliens. I feel like they're like gods. I don't know how to describe it, but they have, like, priests and stuff. So I thought their design was pretty cool. They look kind of like those cave lizards in Mexico, the axolotls. I know it's pronounced like axolotl or something. I don't know. My sister's studying Nawa language because my dad's actually Mexican, so, you know, I'm getting a little into that a little bit. Our roots. I know I look white, but I got Mexican in me. Yeah, so I like the Lemorn. They're pretty cool. I like their voice, the alien voice. I thought that was really well done. I was not expecting alien talking, but I guess Umos did it, and other aliens. But I really like the Lemorn's voices. It sounds very yeah, like I said, almost godly. Like you just stumbled upon something really ancient and badass, so that was cool. Architecture was, how should I put this? I'm sure you've all noticed it's a little, you know, how should I say this? Lemoran architecture is very Yonic. I think we all saw that from the beginning, from the trailers. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the memes about how everything looks like a vagina. I'll say it. Hopefully YouTube will let me say that. It does. Everything literally looks like a female's, you know, private area. So honestly, I'm a fan of it, and I'm actually surprised Nintendo passed it. It's like, I mean, one thing if there was like dicks everywhere, I'd be like, does Nintendo not notice? Like, their design looks kind of phallical or Yonic. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed it. Their architecture is very vaginal looking and vulva looking. Please, YouTube, let me say that. Don't report me. I have to say it. It does look like that, the design. It's not a bad design, though, and honestly, I'm kind of a fan, because it's like, that just shows they weren't afraid and they didn't give a shit. And it honestly gives a lot of Alien vibes, because, Alien, you know, you've seen the movies, they're very, very phallical, and pretty creepy in that way, so I really like that idea. They were not afraid, and honestly, we're all adults. Grow up. You know what I mean? Touch grass. We're all human, like, we all have that. I mean, girls do, whatever, but yeah, Lemoran architecture, the design, Chitoya was really awesome. I enjoyed reading their lore. I liked the design, it was very cute. I thought they looked kind of cute. Like I said, they look like those little lizards. I love the parts where you went to, like, the psychic realm, and, like, they were there, and then everything looks, like, really fancy, and, like, almost looks like the, Aurora Borealis or something. I really like that design. That was cool. And Samus is just, like, I love that design with, like, her hand. Yeah, I'll get into that, too, the game design. Grievers. Enemy design. I really liked the Grievers. I know maybe people feel mixed opinions on it. I like them. I liked how the Lemoran used to, the Grievers used to be Lemoran. I guess because, like, they had to failed experiment with the green crystal energy, which I'll get into later. I thought they were scary enemies. To be honest, I thought they looked a lot like Alien. The Xenomorph. So, I like the design. I love Alien. So, they actually scared me when they first appeared, so I was like, oh shit, these things are pretty rough, but, I thought they were cool. Bosses. Bosses in the game. I love the bosses. I will say this, the game did the bosses really well. I thought they were very fun. They were all unique. Obviously, they had the Prime-styled, fighting, like jumping over things, and Morph Ball underneath, and, you know, the shockwaves, whatever, they always do that in Prime. Very much a fan of the bosses. I thought they were all unique. My favorite one is probably the Omega Griever. At, like, the mines, that was awesome. I was not expecting a giant Griever to fight. Especially when I saw its big egg, I was like, oh shit. And the fact that it looked like Alien too, you know, with the green egg, I was like, oh, we're screwed. And that boss is pretty difficult. I personally think, honestly, you may think I'm a wuss, but I think the hardest boss is probably the one in Vault Forge. The ball with, like, the droids around it. Like, I could not, like, figure that thing out. I didn't die, but I came close to it. Thankfully you can heal by shooting the droids, but you had to use your, psychic beam to, like, hit all three, you know? And, that was kind of, like, hard to do because you had to find the perfect timing to, like, shoot so you don't get hit yourself. I struggled with that boss, I'll admit, a little bit. Carvix was cool. I know he sounds like Cervix. I liked his design. He kind of reminded me of Flagra a little bit, the big flower plant thing. I literally didn't get 100% my first run, though, because of his stupid ball sack thing you'd have to scan. Fuck that sack, I have to admit. That was annoying. I forgot to scan that stupid thing, just like Flagra's tentacle, you know, in Prime. I'm sure we've all struggled with that. But yeah, call me a noob. I don't know, I forgot to scan his ball sack thing. Stupid sacks. It's always balls and sacks. Metroid games, I swear. But yeah, I liked the enemies. The bosses were awesome. Like I said, Sylex was super cool in that game. I loved his design. He looked awesome. They did a good job designing him. I liked his voice. His story arc's okay. I loved his theme. His music was awesome. Sylex in the end was pretty cool. I like that he was the boss, like, kind of like the main key figure. I'll get into him a little bit. His design was awesome. Like I said, his theme was cool. Yeah, his character does. I mean, his story was a little bit like, it probably could have been better, but I get it. That's probably what they had. If you guys haven't played Federation Force, I mean, he was in the end. Federation Force, spoilers. He stole a Metroid from the lab, and use them in Prime 4, I guess, as weapons. Could control them. Kind of like how Space Pirates do. I did like Space Pirates were also in Prime 4. Sorry, my hair. Oh. That was pretty cool, like in the intro of Prime 4. That was like the best part. I loved how they just got into it. It was very serious. It just threw you into the game, threw you in with the story. That was awesome. I really appreciated that intro. The music, very familiar, Space Pirate theme. It just got in your face. It was explosions. It was chaos. I loved it. That's exactly how Prime should start out. I also love the introduction to like more like Federation technology, like the golems and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. I love seeing all the new stuff and like being on a new planet. That was cool. More planets. Introduction. Space Pirates were cool. Gotta admit though, my favorite design of Space Pirates has got to be from Echoes. I do like their beak and their big claws, and they just look more beefy in that game. And just thicker and just more badass. I'm not really a fan of the, like, scrawny, like, pew pew. I got, like, little hands, and they look kind of, weak in this game, I'll admit. Just like in Corruption. They were cool in Corruption, but they kind of remind me of that game. Like, I just prefer Echo's design in Space Pirates. I'm sorry, but I'm sure Livy can agree. They were the beefiest and the toughest in Echoes. I don't like the Zabezian idea, another M. I was like, why didn't I call them Space Pirates? What the I don't know. We won't talk about other M in this video. I know. Sacrilege. I get it. But Space Pirates were okay. I did like their theme. Like I said, Sylex was cool. Very cool design. Chatoya, I'll get into him. Kind of, I guess that's like their lead priest of the Lemorn. He's pretty cool. And there's other ones you could scan throughout the game. But he was like the main one. He's the one that like gives you the psychic abilities. I liked him. I like that he called Samus the Chosen One. Their story was they were searching for the Chosen One to help save them. So they sent out other Lemorns to, like, find the Chosen One. But I guess they died because they didn't return. That sucks. Because, like, I really would like to see more aliens, like, more races be involved in the game. Kind of like the Chozo. If only we could get a game where we actually interact with the Chozo that are alive besides Quiet Robe from Dread. And Ravenbeak. I want to see something be alive, you know? Everything's always, like, just destroyed and eradicated, so... I would like for more alive people, more alive things. So that's why I wasn't totally against the Federation Force people. Not Force, but like the Federation troopers. I thought they were pretty cool. I was like, they're alive, but you know, I'll get to the ending in a minute. Yeah, the music was good in the game. Getting onto the music. I loved Green Fury. I love the main theme, Green Fury. I loved Ice Belt when you power it up. That's my favorite track in the game. It's so badass. The other tracks, I didn't really remember. I feel like they were, they just didn't stick out to me. Ice Belt did have some Fendrena vibes. I did like that. I did like the Griever sound effects, the, like, wee! I don't know, it was just cool. It made them more frightening. I can't really do the singing, sorry. But yeah, I did like the music. Green Fury and Ice Belt were my favorites. And the main theme was awesome. Oh yeah, and Vault Forge. Vault Forge was awesome. That one had a great track, so they did a pretty good job on the soundtrack. Bring back those Prime vibes, you know what I mean? Okay, now I will get into the bike. So, the bike. Viola. This bike had a lot of, you know, diverse opinions, and people were immediately not into the idea. And I will not blame you. When I first saw the trailer, I was just, if anything, more confused. And if anything, I wasn't expecting it. I'm not opposed to the idea of Samus having a bike. It's kind of badass. But if anything, I was very much, just confused. Like, why would she have a bike? She has a gunship. Why would she not have her gunship? Why would she need a bike? I look at it this way. It's cool, okay? She has a cool bike now. It's cool. Let's just embrace it. We all admit we had fun driving it into Crystals. Which I'll get into that in a minute. The design for Viola was really cool. I loved it. As a matter of fact, I have the amiibo here. I actually have all 3 amiibos. You guys hopefully do too. There it is. Viola. Pretty cool amiibo. Sorry if you can't see it very well. You know, plastic reflections. I have that. I love the bike. I think it was cool. I just wish that we had more cool places to drive it. So you basically get the bike in Vault Forge, and you go through like a little like certification licensing. It's almost like the DMV in the Metroid world. The bike lessons, I don't even know what, I guess that was just a part of Vault Forge's like test circuits or something. I thought they were really cool design. They almost gave me like F-Zero vibes. I thought that was really unique and almost like Mario Kart-ish. And I was into that. I'm like, this looks fun. I honestly would just drive these for hours. Like, I don't know. Maybe they were too simple, but I thought they were really fun. Really cool design. Like I said, it gave me F-Zero vibes, which I'm a fan of because Captain Falcon's awesome. And maybe Samus will join F-Zero. Maybe she'll join Mario Kart. I don't know. But I thought it was fun to do those. I was a little bit scared to do them because I thought, oh my god, am I going to have to, like, be timed? Am I going to have, like, a bike race with Sylex or race it out with some Space Pirates? I don't even know. Pretty simple to do, pretty easy. Just to kind of give you an idea of how to drive the bike. You know, pretty easy. So that was cool. I liked the music when you were driving the bike. That was, like, kind of heavy. Yeah, so that was cool. Now, people didn't like the bike because they associated it with Soul Valley, and I will agree that Soul Valley was very lacking. The game looked amazing up until you get out in the desert, and like I like the idea of the desert. I just feel like the design could have been better, and it was very plain. I do agree. I'm not trying to like annoy people that maybe it's beaten too much, but I do agree the desert could have been better designed. There's no really good music out there. There was a little bit like alien kind of desolate music, which is cool. And apparently you can play a jukebox on the Viola, which is kind of cool. If you have the amiibo, apparently you can like turn on the jukebox to the Viola. But and you can also change the skins, the color of the bike in the game. If you have the amiibo, which like I said I have right here, you know, I showed it off. Pretty cool. If you don't have one, you don't have to get it. I mean, it's just for fun, but you know, I'm a collector, so I had to get them, of course, as you may know. So yeah, Soul Valley could have been better. I personally kind of had an idea, like, why didn't they just let us, why couldn't they have put these levels in different planets? You know, like, have it still be, like, Lamorne planet, like, in their own galaxy, but, like, why not make Ice Belt a planet? A whole-ass planet that you can explore, and then make the mines a different planet, and then make, you know, the other levels, like, their own planets, like the magma place, have it be like on a hot, like Mars or something, I don't know, kind of like that, so we can like utilize the gunship more. I really feel like that they could have utilized the gunship more. I know that we got teleported out of Tanimar and Samus's galaxy, whatever, and so we didn't have the gunship. I get that, because in the story of Prime 4 Beyond, she's sent to protect this artifact. Space Pirates are trying to, I guess, get themselves or something. They didn't really go into it much. But you have to protect the artifact, and the artifact is actually like a teleporter key. Basically, it just teleports you to the Lamorne's galaxy. And so, yeah, you get teleported there. So you don't really have your gunship, and you're not in your own galaxy. So I get that, but I kind of feel like they should have utilized the gunship more. Maybe make it a little bit Star Foxy. Maybe we can drive the gunship and shoot down some Space Pirates ships. I don't know. I think that'd be really cool if they would have done that. Maybe almost like Star Wars vibes. I don't know. I'm not too into Star Wars, but you know, like that idea. I think they should have done that, considering how long we've waited for the game. I can understand why people were disappointed by the desert, because I personally had fun driving throughout the desert and crashing into green crystals. I thought that was kind of cool. But it was very satisfying to crash into them, I'll say that. And you have to collect them all. So, if you're not a really fan of collecting things for the game, I could see why you wouldn't enjoy this game, but, you know, it was fun. Like I said, my favorite level was the Ice Belt level. I love the part where you go into the lab and like you're just scanning the lore and figuring out what happened here, and then the Grievers. Basically, you learn about the Grievers. Used to be Lamorne. I thought that was really cool. Had very good pacing, a lot of horror vibes. Favorite part. And then you activate everything. And as soon as I turned on the power, I thought, oh my god, all of these things and these pods are gonna break out, and I had so much fear. Like, I was scared, actually. It brought back those old, like, Metroid Prime fear vibes, so I really appreciate that. That was really good writing. Pretty good pacing, pretty good design. Yeah. Let's see what else. Now, the controls of the game. I thought, like, I played Prime 4 with the Pro Controller. I'm not really a fan of, like, the little separator, like, the Switch ones. I don't play with those. I'm more classic style, you know. Give me that heavy-duty controller. I did enjoy playing the game. I thought it was very fun. The controls weren't too hard to learn. I love the strafing mechanics in this game. I love how you could, like, back up twice, and, like, you were strafing, which is better. You could, like go backwards, and I thought that was really cool. I really liked the idea. And it felt more powerful doing it, too. Like, you could feel it, you know? That was awesome. Now, the psychic powers. when I first saw the trailer for Prime 4 Beyond, I was a little bit worried because I thought, why would Samus have psychic powers? Like, I'll admit, I had a little bit of confusion. I'm like, so she's like a Pokemon? She's like psychic type or something? I don't know. It really worked out well, though. I thought it was cool because when it comes to, like, Metroid, what else hasn't she done? She's done it all. So it's like, well, make her psychic, you know? I wonder if they were just like, let's make her have psychic powers. Let's make the Lamorne psychic-based and, like, godly. And she can have, like, almost, like, godlike powers. She can manipulate things with her mind, you know? Like, I thought that was really cool. Really fun to use. I love the psychic lasso. That's probably my favorite move. Just, like, the whole, like, whoosh, grabbing things and ripping it off. I thought that was a really cool idea. It really kept, in touch with the old Prime, upgrades, you know? Like, the psychic bomb, psychic, like, spider ball, like, all those. I thought the idea was really cool. And getting into the Viola suit just made it better. It was cool. I definitely am a fan of the psychic idea. Like, that was really unique. And it worked out pretty well with the controls. The upgrades and puzzles were fun. Not too hard in this game, I've noticed. Like, they weren't that tough in this game. The telekinesis codes were a really cool idea. I like the, like, gestures when she goes like this and, like, the whoosh. Like, she just, you know, I love that. The arm moving. It just, to me, that was really cool. I love seeing her, like, just interact with things. It makes it more interactive. I like that idea. The puzzles were fun. Like I said, I like doing the little codes where you had to flip them around and you had to move them a certain way. That was unique. I love that. Really fun to do. It almost felt like putting together a puzzle or something. Really, really like that idea. Maybe some of you guys didn't. Maybe thought it was weird. I don't know. Let me know in the comments again what you guys think about all the game and stuff. I want to read everything. I have a very open mind. So yeah, the puzzle idea was cool. Psychic abilities were awesome. I like the little thing in her head to kind of show that I can control things. Like, that was really awesome. So yeah, like I said, all in all, to summarize my pros for the game, like I said, I love the abilities. Psychic idea was cool. The bike was a cool idea. The character design was cool. Like I said, I love the intro of the game. I love the amiibos. Like I said, the designs of the characters are awesome. I don't know if I showed these ones off yet, but here's Samus and Herbaria. Pretty cool. That one I think gives you, like, a protected barrier and, like, extra energy or something. I haven't used them. I'm not going to open them because, I'm a collector. I don't do that. I just buy them for my collection. And Sylex, he's awesome looking. There he is. Love his design. I'm glad we got to get another character in the game, you know? Like, I know people loved Phazon. They don't like the idea of green energy. I'll get into that in my cons. Sylex was cool. Like his theme. Amiibos are awesome. Game was cool. I love the, like I said, the Lamorne temple, like the main temple you start at. That was really cool. Why am I forgetting the name of it suddenly? I forgot the name of the temple for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm hungry. I'm getting hungry. I need some energy. There's so much of things to talk about. My mind, has trouble absorbing it all. But yeah. Voice acting was good. Character design was good. Love the suits. Love the upgrades. I just think that the game was really fun. Psychic abilities. Let me know what you think about the psychic, like, the shots and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and then there's, like, the super missiles you get in this game. You don't really get them till later, which is kind of rough. But the fire shot, the ice shot, and the thunder shot, I thought were all, like, cool. A little bit kind of keeping it safe with, like, the elements again, but that's what Prime does. Like, Echoes did Dark and Light, which I thought was a little bit cheesy, but I'm not trying to insult Echoes fans. I love Echoes, but, like, Dark and Light, I mean, you know, it's been done a lot, but that was Nintendo's dark, edgy era. So, yeah. Annihilator Beam was awesome, though. Corruption did Nova Beam, Phazon Beam. I think they were a little more creative in Corruption with their beams. They did have the Plasma. I think Plasma sounds cooler than Fire, because it's, like, kind of basic, but, yeah. I'll get into that more in my cons. Alright, what else do we need to talk about? So yeah, design was great, graphics were great, music, excellent. I love the I loved all the choir. I'm a huge choir fan. I sing choir all the time. I think I'm pretty good at it, but I don't know. I think I can be pretty good. But yeah, hope you guys like my singing. If you don't, be nice, because it ain't gonna be good. Alright, I'll get into my cons. So, the cons of the game. Like I said, I have an open mind. My complaints about Prime 4 Beyond. I I already went into the desert. I feel like the desert was lacking. I agree with a lot of you. I wish there was space travel. I've already went into that. We need to have the gunship. Kind of wish they would have implemented that, because in Corruption it was fun. We got to be like, boop, 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 boop. You know what I mean? We got to like kind of interact. I want more gunship interaction. I cannot express this enough. I wish the gunship was more interactive. Like, I would love to see what's inside. Don't we all? Like, don't you all want to see, like, where she lives? I want to see if she has a bathroom, a kitchen, a bed. Like, I would love to know that about Samus. It makes her more human. I would love to see that. I feel like for how long that they've had to work on this game. Now, I don't know everything that goes into game creating, so maybe I'm spoiled. I know I'm a little bit ignorant on the matter. I've never made a game before. I know it could take time, but I really wish they would have implemented her gunship, and please go back to the Echo's design. That was like her like best gunship design, the Echo's one. It's like a bug, like turtle shell. I love that design. I get that they kept the Corruption design because it's more Federation-y, but Echo's was best. It was really unique to her. I love the round shape, but I wish we could have been able to go inside of her gunship. I want to see if she, like, where her bathroom is. I would think it would be cool. Wouldn't it be cool to be interactive and, like, go inside, take a break, and just be like, boop, 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 boop. I don't know, get a snack or something. Ugh. Use the bathroom for once. I don't know how she goes. No one talks about it, but I do. That'd been cool. Now, enemies. Enemy designs. I will admit, I think the enemies got kind of repetitive. I don't want to, like, beat a dead horse, but I think the robots got a little repetitive. I did think some of the enemies were just kind of, not that strong. I think they had a lack of enemies, to be honest. The robots were strong, the little mechs. They were kind of cool, but they were also very, repetitive, I'll admit. They were cool, but repetitive. I think that the desert could have had better enemies. I know, like I said, there's a bike fight out there where you have to, like, I think it takes one of the mech parts or something. You have to gather mech parts later in the game. I found that battle to be kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Like, it kept going under the sand, and it would repeat itself. It kept going in a loop, and I was like, this game kind of annoying. No offense, but I kind of got a little annoyed by that. Yeah, that was kind of annoying. I had a little bit of anxiety about the bike battles. I was like, oh dear, I'm gonna have to fight something on a bike. That's not cool. So that wasn't the most fun. I do think they could have made more enemies. There was a lack of Metroids and Space Pirates. I know that the Metroids were kind of involved in the game. They were fusing with, like, the bosses. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. I think Sylex was controlling them, and they went to the bosses. You had to fight them, their core. So I did like that involvement. It wasn't like overdone Metroids, but I do feel like maybe in the desert we could at least had, like, maybe a Metroid 2 vibe. Maybe we could go through the desert and destroy all the Metroids or something. Maybe, I don't know, just an idea. I think that'd be kind of cool. I didn't like the lack of Space Pirates. I'm assuming the enemies when you're on the bike, Sylex's forces, are probably Space Pirates, but the enemy design was really boring. I didn't like the wheel thing, and I thought the shooting thing, it got kind of repetitive. Like, just wasn't really a fan of that design. I think there could have been more. Like, I know there's birds and stuff, but I don't know, I just felt like repetitive. Almost like Wind Waker. And as a matter of fact, the bike and everything almost kind of gave me, like, Zelda vibes. Like, you know, Link on the Switch in Breath of the Wild, like, whoosh, you know, he drives a bike, and I thought, are they trying to go like Zelda a little bit? I don't know. But I did get Zelda vibes from the bike, because Link has one. I thought, it could be fun. I'm open to that. Maybe Nintendo's going down the, maybe they want to promote a bike or something. Maybe they're bikers. I don't know. But that was cool, in a way. Yeah. I don't know, I just think they could have added more enemies. I did think that it just got kind of repetitive, you know. Now, GE, the green energy crystals of the game, were not, I'll admit, everybody else, they're not the most creative idea. I thought they were lacking compared to, like, Phazon and other ideas. I thought that green energy's kind of boring, I'll admit. Not too creative. But I guess they didn't know what else to call it. You have to crash into them on your bike, collect them for the memory fruit to their big tree that they have in Green Fury, which, again, I will say I love that level. Love the music, beautiful. Love the big tree, that was really cool. I wish you could have gone in it, though. I don't know. Maybe just see what's in there. Tree of Life. I don't know. Would have been cool. Yeah, the green energy crystals were a little bit boring. I think they could have made up something cooler. But apparently the Lamorne were experimenting with green crystals and kind of, like, advancing their fauna and themselves with it. And it went wrong, went haywire, and so they went crazy and turned into grievers. So, the story could have been a little bit better, that idea, but I get it, you know. Only so much you can do. Like, my biggest issue with the game, too, is that Sylex is the main bad guy. I do wish we got to encounter him a little bit more. Now, the mini-bosses with Sylex were awesome. I love those fights. The one at Vault Forge and the, I think the Magma place, those were awesome. I like those fights a lot. Those are really fun. Great music, great character design. A little disappointed it wasn't actually him, because apparently Sylex, the entire game, is inside of a healing pod. Kind of thought that was a little boring. Kind of wish he was more out and about. Like, maybe we can have, like, epic, like, battles with him. Or, like, hey, let's race Samus. I don't know. I don't know, I just wish he's more involved. Instead, he's just always, like, I guess he was healing in the Chrono Tower. That's what it's called, Chrono Tower. Sorry, I forgot. So I do wish that he could have been more involved. I'm sorry, but I do. But the epic battles, the mini-bosses of him are pretty cool. I did like that. Now I'll get into the escort missions. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware and probably agree that, like, escort missions are never fun. I'm sorry, but, like, especially in a Metroid game, escort missions have never been the best part of, like, any game at all. So, I didn't really, like, I was kind of worried about, like, the characters and, like, oh my god, they have hit points, I have to actually revive them. Kind of felt a little, you know, unsure about that. I thought that would be a little bit annoying. Because I know in the final fight with Sylex, you have to, they get downed and you have to revive them. And I'm like, I kind of am busy up here, like, I gotta shoot Sylex, why don't they revive each other? I kind of felt like they should have been able to do that. Because if you can't, like, if there's no medic, you're kind of screwed, you know? Like, you can't revive yourself, you can't, I don't know, put another injection of energy in you, I don't know. I'm kind of busy over here, so, like, the whole time I'm, like, fighting Sylex, I have to be like, you know what I mean? I don't really have a lot of time, you know, I'm kind of busy over here. Like, no one revives me, so that kind of sucks. But I guess it's because I've got psychic powers, I can heal, I don't know. So I wasn't really a fan of having to escort them and revive them and be worried about them. Like, I felt like it was sort of like babysitting a little bit. And as you may know, as Metroid fans, we're kind of like, we want to be on our own, we don't want to be told what to do. We want to go enjoy the game, you know, by ourselves. But, yeah, I was a little bit nervous about the escort missions. They weren't too bad, I was able to revive them, no one died in my first playthrough, so that's always good. Alright. So, I guess I'll get into the ending of the game. Now, the ending, as a whole, I will admit, it disappointed me. I was not expecting that ending. I guess it was extremely disappointing, in my opinion. Now, maybe you guys feel differently, because you're like, yes, the NPCs died, yay! But, like, I didn't want them to die. To be honest, they grew on me, and I enjoyed them. I thought they were really nice and charming, and I liked them. I'll be real. Sacrifice me, whatever you want. I liked the NPCs in the game. I didn't think they were that bad. I did not like the ending. I thought it was kind of cool that you got to fight, you know, with them, and they helped you, actually, but, at the same time, I didn't like to babysit, so, I didn't want them to die, and then, oops, you have to start over, someone died, you know, I just didn't want that, because Sylex was kind of a tough battle, that first part. He wasn't easy, the first part, and I thought, oh man, a hard mode he's gonna be kicking my ass, but, like I said, I didn't like the idea of babysitting everybody that was fighting. Like I said, Sylex was just revealed to us in a cryopod, like, healing in Chrono Tower. I'm guessing he's the one that sent out the green energy, like, if you remember, it, like, was raining green energy on the grievers, whatever. As you advance, it kind of advances the enemies. I personally thought the green energy came from him, because, like, I thought, because, you know, he's got the green light, he's got green lights, I thought, oh, maybe it's coming from him, he's, like, that's like his phase-on, or something, like Dark Samus, whatever, but no, it's coming from the crystals, and not every creature, I guess, can withstand the evolution with the crystal being absorbed, and so they get harder, they get more evil, stuff like that. So, yeah, I didn't like that he was in a pod. I guess he got hurt, because I know that his Sylex's story, he was actually, in the Galactic Federation, he had his own, like, squad, whatever, and they were going to take out some space pirates, cannon, and he was told, oh, back down, Samus is coming to help and stuff, and he's like, no, I want to take this cannon myself, and so he wanted the cannon for himself, from the space pirates, but then Samus blows it up, and he's pissed off, basically. He's kind of like butthurt that she took it over the job, I guess. And so his story's a little, it's a little okay, I guess. I found it to be kind of lacking, I guess. Could be better. I'm not hating. I think Sylex is cool, but the story could be better. I get he wants revenge. He's grieving, like grievers. He's griever. I guess he's grieving. This is how he's handling his grief. Everybody has grief. We all handle it differently. So I get it. He's butthurt. We've all been there. I think we've all been grieving something and butthurt. So I can empathize with him. I guess for a game that we've been waiting for like almost 20 years for, it's kind of like, could they've done? It's cool. I guess it makes sense. We all knew Sylex was going to return because of the end of corruption, and he is one of the best designs. I think that him and Weevil are probably the best looking, and also he's hot. I won't lie, he's hot. Anyway, yeah, he's cool. Yeah, so I do wish he was more involved in the game. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, a bike race or something. I don't know. Come on. It'd be cool if Sylex had a bike, right? It would be really, really cool. It'd be a spiky or something, his colors. I don't know. Just an idea. Yeah, so, there's certain bosses you can fight on the bike. I know there's one, the lava pool, magma pool, I forgot the name. And that one was kind of a cool fight element, that big dragon thing you fight in the lava. That was a really cool boss fight. I really enjoyed that one. Even though it was on the bike a little bit, it was still awesome. The one boss fight in the desert wasn't... I did not enjoy that one. It's like, give me my mech part. But yeah, in the game, towards the end, you have to assemble mech parts for Miles, everybody to... They have to use that mech to break through the Chrono Tower barrier. Which I kind of thought, that could have been a better idea than that. I did like the use of the mech part, though. It would have been cool if maybe we could use it against Sylex, maybe some forces, I don't know. I just like it could have been more epic, but maybe like because of the you know, long wait for, you know, since corruption and Prime 4, I think people got their expectations a little too high and assumed the game was just going to be this explosive, amazing thing. And I'm not hating on it. I think the game was pretty enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I'm really glad we have it. I'm just grateful to have another Prime. Like, honestly, Dread was awesome, but I just want another Prime. I really love the Primes. So I'm just glad we got the game. And I'm grateful that whoever made the game, I don't know all the names, but you guys, like, if you're watching this, which if you are, you know, cool. I'm honored. I don't know if I'm that cool, but you guys did a good job. Like, honestly, like, it was really good. I'm very impressed with it, and I would definitely play another one. If you guys are making another one, let me know. Hit me up. Maybe I can be of some service and help out, you know. Just the story and everything. Maybe I can be the face model or something, you know, the next Samus. That's something, too, I want to get into. Samus's face was absolutely gorgeous. Like, this is, like, her best look. I love her makeup, her hair. I'm glad they kind of kept the same Other M kind of realistic look. She looks very mature and serious. Her best look, I admit. She looks great. Her face is beautiful. Very polished, very, like, mature. I'm glad she looks more mature now, because it's like, after all she's been through, come on, you know. You know, yeah. So yeah, if the game makers are watching this, awesome job. I can't wait for more Primes. Please make more. Never stop making Primes, okay? Retro Studios never stop. You guys did a good job. And yeah, I think I've pretty much covered it. Everything I wanted to go over. Like I said, game was fun. I recommend playing it if you're a Prime fan. Yeah, it's not too hard of a game, I don't think. I'm about to play hard mode. Wish me good luck. But yeah, my only complaint is that I wish we could have seen Sylex more. The ending was disappointing. Let me just... Oh yeah, let me go over the ending a little bit more. Sorry, there's so much to think about. So, I didn't like the ending because you thought Sylex was dead. The fight was pretty fun. I didn't like how the people... Like, we're getting ready to leave the Chrono Tower because it's like a teleporter. Throughout the game, you have to collect keys from each little area in the game, which I thought was a little bit... it could be better than that, but I get it. Key collecting is just kind of what games do. It's kind of like Zelda-y in that aspect, so kind of fun, but I kind of relate to that because I played Zelda games growing up, too. Love Zelda. So yeah, you have to collect the keys to work the teleporter in Chrono Tower. It teleports you back to Tanimar, everybody. So their whole goal is like, oh, I can't wait to go back home. Everybody's saying that as they're in Chrono Tower. They're like, wow, this is cool. I can't wait. It's a little eerie because you don't get attacked by anything or like, this is a little too quiet. I wonder if Sylex is here. And he is. He's inside Chrono Tower. And I'm guessing he's just powering up, you know, for the final battle, final showdown. And you fight him, and then pretty much he comes back. And you're getting ready to... Everybody's getting ready to leave, go to Tanimar, go home, basically, on the elevator. Or the teleporter, sorry. And Sylex comes back, and they all jump in to stop him. And they sacrifice themselves, basically, to save Samus from Sylex. Because he's about to destroy the, I guess, teleporter. So, like, no, go on, Samus, go on without us. But I'm like... What was the point, then, of you guys, like, being in this game? You all got sacrificed. The mission was to kind of help them, rescue them. and my mission was pointless in the end, sort of. Like, I didn't like how they all died, I guess. It didn't show them dying, but I'm assuming they did with Sylex. It was kind of a noble sacrifice, I'll admit. I felt sad after playing the game. I felt a little something. Heartstrings tugged a little bit, because I did like the characters. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh yay, they're dead, yay, but personally I like them. And I thought they're pretty cool. But again, that's just my opinion. Like I said, you don't have to like them. I kind of did, but, you know. So the ending was pretty disappointing, and the Lemorn, like I said, throughout the game you have to collect the energy crystals and to give to the memory fruit of their tree to kind of like honor the Lemorn and like keep their history going so people know what happened. So you take the memory fruit with you, and it reveals Samus to their face. Beautiful. 100% ending. 100% scans too. Don't forget to scan ball sacks, I guess. Don't be like me. And she looks beautiful, of course. At the end, it shows you planting the tree to, like, again, honor the Lemorn and honor your friends. Before Takabi dies, he throws you his necklace that he has from his father, and he's like a believer of the Soul Valley, like he's got a religion or something, and he says, oh yeah, this necklace means a lot to me, so it kind of like was cool that he's thrown it to Samus to kind of remember him. Yeah, I kind of wish she would have kept the whole of that necklace, because, like, you know, just wear it maybe, but she puts it on the memory tree as kind of like a little ornament, like she decorates a little bit, like Christmas. So I did like that ending, you know, like here's the tree. Graphics were beautiful, cinematic, very nice. I just wish that, sorry, computer being weird. Yeah, I kind of wish they didn't die. I think it'd been cool, been like fulfilling to have them live and then go back to the Federation or something. I don't know, maybe that would have been cheesy. Maybe the only hope for them was to die. You know how Metroid is when we get too close to people, like, let's kill them, you know? But yeah, not a fan of the ending. It was pretty lackluster. You get really cool pictures at the end, though, like really cool gallery. I won't post that here because that could be a surprise for you guys. So you get really cool pictures in the end, for all that hard work. Yeah, the game was fun. Overall, my opinion of the game, like I said, I'd have to say I would think either a 7 or 8 out of 10 for the game is pretty good rating. I know people online were, you know, kind of like, I'm not sure about the game itself. I mean, I think, like I said, because it's been so long since we've got to play a Prime, and because we've been waiting for so long, we assumed it was going to be something else, but in the end we ended up disappointing ourselves, I think, because it's like, we expected too much, but I don't know. Maybe they could have done better. I'm open to all opinions, please don't come for me. Like I said, write down your comments, I love to hear what you guys thought of the game, what do you rate it, did you have fun with it, what is your biggest issue with it, what do you love about it, please be nice, like I said in the comments, don't be rude, you know. Remember, we're all here because we're fans of Metroid, and we love Metroid, all of our hearts. And we want to see it succeed, you know, because we're fans. So, yeah. Another thing, too, I forgot to cover. I wish you could do tricks on the bike. I wish it was kind of like, you could do, like, epic little moves and flips or something. I mean, come on. They missed opportunity, Nintendo. Give us some tricks. Why not? Show off. Make some, I don't know. Make it fun. I don't know. This is my opinion. But yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover. If anything I missed, make sure to, like, say in the comments. If you guys like the game, let me know. Like I said, I could talk about Metroid all the time. I love it so much. And yeah, like I said, I got the amiibos. Pretty cool. You can see them. Viola, this one's my favorite. Pretty cool. I'll probably do more videos in the future. Sorry, it's been a while since I posted a good video. I know, I've been kind of taking a break. But yeah, like I said, I'll never give up. Metroid's metal. And yeah, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the game. Hope you enjoyed the video. I try my best to review. Like I said, I'm not a professional game reviewer, but I am a professional Metroid fan, so you know what I mean. So yeah, like I said, hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next mission.